And so make sure the mic is working. Mic check, mic check. We are live again. Hey, it feels like it was only yesterday, man, but it's Brighton again. It's a preview again. Hopefully another win. Big up to Zabiri, bro. Hope you're blessed. Hope you're well. Hope everyone's good in the family. Obviously, we've got G's jumping in as well. Speak of the devil, the man is here. Big
First
up
of all,
G as well.
Don't call me a devil. I feel like
yeah, G. I did not like that. G. I did.
What's wrong with
devil? No, I don't want to be associated. It's a phrase that I don't use in this household. We are don't say things like that.
You are correct. It is a phrase, but you are responsible for the phrases that you coin and the phrases that you use. We're not responsible for how we react to your loose phrases, but you are responsible for them. That was a loose one.
I apologize. Big up to G in the Christian household, bro. I don't see no Jesus on the wall, but it is what it is, man.
I mean, do I need to have Jesus on the wall to worship Jesus? I didn't know that's how it kind of worked.
I don't know, man. Most Christians' homes, I think that's like, that's like.
But this is the filming section. This is the stream section. We wouldn't have that here.
I just thought,
what's interesting?
Christ comes with you everywhere. That's all I thought.
He's here in my heart. He's here in my heart.
And what's interesting is you didn't see any Jesus evidence, but you ain't see no devil evidence. You gave him the devil.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where would you have seen devil evidence?
Because before we get going, do you know the reason why? Because we've seen his antics. Obviously, Zabir, you don't see because you're not on the socials, but we see his triggering antics online. Certain things, quotes, phrases, polls,
and that's the Lord speaking down through me to guide those in a certain way.
And I hear what you're saying, but you didn't have to associate the antics with devil. You could have just said speak of Loki then, if he's making mischief. You know what I'm trying to say?
He could have said
because Loki's like the god of mischief. So it's like there's other ways you could have went, but the man didn't come here for gospel. The man came here for football.
I can't even break it up there. Hopefully, you get back. We can hear the end.
I told you because the Lord is speaking through me now.
I'd say just cut it back because the Lord is speaking. But G, appreciate you, bro. Zabiri, appreciate you as well for jumping in. Not going to be here for too long, boys. I was watching your stream, so I don't really. I know the people them are obviously watching it. I've now watched the what Arne Slot spoke about. There was nothing he gave away in that I was thought, it's worth even speaking about. Apart from like you got the injuries, him saying that the Jotas, Chiesas, and Harvey Elliott, they're going to be back, after the international break. So that's in line with like Southampton away, Real Madrid, Man City. So we're getting back the group. Hopefully no injuries up to that point, and hopefully every one of them, goes away on international break and come back with no injuries. Because going into those Man Cities and Real Madrid games are going to be tough as it is anyway. But there was nothing I really saw. And then there was someone asked him about the contract, and he said all three players' contracts are in a good way. Other than that, there was nothing that I saw, heard him say that was worth even speaking about, if I'm going to be totally honest. Gee, I don't know if that's the same for you, Zabiri. I don't know if that's the same for you as well, if you obviously listen to his press conference.
Yeah. Bro, as I said it in the thing, bro, like these press conferences are just becoming very boring to watch. Yeah, and to be honest, I was more, like I said in the stream, I was saying to Jay, I was intrigued with what you lot was talking about actually on your member show yesterday about the whole the Robertson thing and stuff like that. That was a lot more interesting than the press conference that I watched this morning. And it's so funny because even when he ended the press conference, it was like whatever coming with the last question was, just got up, left. That was it. Like and it felt like the intro was longer than the actual interview. So the intro was like 7 minutes long before we actually got in. Bro, it's like, how is the intro so long? Obviously, you're waiting for him to come in and etc. That was the interview. They ask the same questions every single time. And he says the same answer. They usually will start off with like, I think I told you last time, nothing's really changed. This is the situation, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, come on. But the one good thing was they asked him about the opponent. We actually got to hear him speak about the opponent. That was the good thing. That was it.
So they took the second game to ask him because they didn't ask him about that in the first game. So
see, I didn't even know. See, that's mad.
Yeah, they did ask him about Brighton in the first game. Like, what do you think of the opponent? he did mention like he likes the way that they play, the manager, and the style of football. They didn't lose much from from what's his name that left from Miami that's gone to Marseille now, De Zerbi. So he said there's nothing really changed. They've got in a good young manager. That's it. But if the question sounded exactly the exact same, and he gave pretty much a similar answer. He obviously said, obviously both teams had changes, so it's going to be two different teams you now see in that game. But I'm like, is it going to be any massive difference? I know most of them players that played are going to play, apart from like maybe 2 or 3 additions. The Matomas, maybe Welbeck comes in as well, but Ferguson would have been a normal start. The midfield would have been a normal, start. Maybe Baliba comes in as well. I don't know what his fitness thing is. In Suso, he's someone that plays and starts as well. So I looked at the team and like, there's not much Brighton is really going to do to change. But Zabir, what about you, man? I don't know if you saw the press conference or heard or saw any quotes or anything like that.
No, but to you guys' point, I did see a pattern of not asking about the opposition because maybe he doesn't want to highlight some things that he's seen when he's trying to do like this preparation for the team, because he's never really played some of these teams. So Brighton is probably, if not mistaken, the first team he's played twice since the season. So I feel like that question was the only good question in there. And I think he gave an honest assessment, a manager assessment of what he thinks. And yeah, he's right. It's going to be 2 different setups probably. I'm not sure if Brighton put out a team that they believe can beat us versus a team that they just genuinely believe can compete. And I feel like that team was just trying to take it to pens, whether it's a 0-0. You know what I mean? Like, they really was just trying to make sure they're in the game to where, we'll get them on penalties. Like, I really feel like that was Brighton's game. So from that, I'm looking at it now and I'm like, all right, so we've put him to the sword in the knockout competition. Now let's go and get the 3 points. And I feel like Brighton would also be playing. Not for the 3 points. I don't think Brighton believe they can beat us and go toe-to-toe. So I think Brighton might just be setting up for a draw, try to limit the amount of goals we score. But I think ultimately he has the right approach. And I respect him.
Do you know what as well? I know G said obviously he didn't have the chance to kind of watch the game properly. But there was something that we did in the game. The formation that we used was more of a 4-2-2-2. So we kind of blocked them in their midfield, blocked them up front, and blocked them on their wings. And it forced them to try and play in a certain way against us. But every time we then won the ball, we had more numbers to then counteract or play football into those little areas, in the wing areas up front. It was like we'd played without a striker in it. Obviously, going into this one, you'd assume, the striker, Darwin Núñez, will be the one back up front. I don't know if we're going to use the same system. But I saw it in the game and I'm like, if we use this in the next game, I don't think we can. I don't think they'll be able to handle us, bro. Especially putting back in the certain qualities. The Gravenberch is in there. The McAllister's starting from the start. The Núñez is, the Salahs and that Virgil with a certain bit of passing that he normally does as well. So it'd be interesting to see if we change it back to the 4-2-3-1 for this game. But I don't think we need to necessarily change it. I think add the personnels into that what we used, and maybe he'll do it. The good thing is obviously we've seen the way that they want to play, and then one of the shining lights for me was Bradley in this game. Bradley was really, really good, really, really good in the game, man. He had to deal with Matoma in the second half, and I think he beat him once, and which is fine. That you can do that, but just he had to deal with Adingra in the first half. And he's not no slouch, skillful, tricky, kept trying to cut back on the inside. But he dealt with him, man, really. Like, defensively, Bradley was solid for me in that game, man. He got one little step over and cooked him. Adingra gave him a little counter-attack step over, cooked him. But then, obviously, Kwanzaa was there to kind of mop up the rest of it, man. But, yeah, I don't see how they're going to hurt us in this game, man. Even if he added the Welbecks back in there, which is obviously their striker at the moment, is very dangerous given the opportunity. Matoma coming in from the start, so you're looking at 1v1s is going to be an issue during the game. But other than that, man, I don't see anything else really from just watching how they played in that one, because they're not going to go away from it. It's just the personnel. And what we used counteracted that. So even with the personnel, you could see that we had the upper advantage. I don't know what you think in terms of, is there anything in particular we'd have to do? Zabir, I know you watched the game, didn't you, as well? Is there anything that we need to
the only thing
do?
the only thing I worried about is the wingers they have, they're opposites. One like to go byline, and I feel like that switch in that moment can hurt us. And because Bradley was more prepared for Matoma to come inside, but Matoma was a byline for him. So he gave him that space, and Matoma will use that. And I feel like the same can be said. Welbeck's going to probably be in there. Hopefully not, but I'm expecting, you know what I mean, to get to the byline and whip it in. We've always conceded to the byline. So I feel like that can hurt us. I don't think they'll get 2 goals from it, but I can see them getting 1 goal from, whipping one in, not dealt with it properly, and they can get one that way. So I'm not expecting a clean sheet coming into this one, but I definitely feel like they can hurt us on the wing. Robbo had a little bit of an issue. Not sure Simicast can deal with that. You just never know. Whenever the issues is getting closer and closer to your box, by the letter of the law of the game, all it takes is 1 missed tackle, there's a penalty, they're in again. So that's the 2 goals I can see them score. Sloppy tackle in the box, or just whipping one in and not clearing it properly. Yeah, so I can give them those 2 goals, but I still would back us to beat them like on 4-2 in that event.
Obviously, G, we got the Anfield effect in it. I don't know. Some teams have come there in recent years and don't respect the environment, bro. But to be fair, when we play at home, we normally deal with most teams. Brighton are going to play football. They're not going to sit in. They're not going to do the low block thing. They're going to play. And they're going to play football in the right way. Looking at, obviously, the Mo's. And last season, we only beat them 2-1 with that pass from Sobo, McAllister with that nice little set. And then Mo was there to finish off. Remember the game when I was cooking him last year? And I said Mo did nothing. And then the rebuttal as well. He scored the winner. Yeah, because he weren't doing nothing in the game, bro. But then he's the one who got the winner in that one. So at the end of the day, I was like, no, the performance, blah, blah, blah. But looking at the way even he started the season, obviously I've still had my little criticism, but he's way better than what he was last year from a standpoint of his performances. Going into this one, being at home, I looked at the way they played. I reckon Mo could get at least a hat-trick in this one, if I'm being honest, bro. I don't know what you think of that particular statement.
It's tricky. It's tricky, bro. Like, because obviously to what you said about we can't really play. Sorry, no, not can't. I don't think he will play that same way, just because then Nunes can't play, and I feel like he's gonna want Nunes to play. Nunes can't play in a 10 position. I just don't think it works with the type of player that he is and what he brings. So if Nunes does play, I think you just go back to 4-2-3-1 and you work it from there, kind of thing. But Brighton are tricky, man. I think the game will be similar, but I think it'll be difficult for Liverpool anyway. I still think Liverpool will win. I still envisage Liverpool winning the game, but I do think that Brighton are those players that we talk about, the Danny Welbecks, obviously the Matomas, the Beliebers coming back in, that they are so important for a team like Brighton to function. When they are there, they usually play well. Like majority of the time, they play well. And I just think up against Liverpool, the way that we play, I don't know. I just don't see it really changing in terms of us blowing them out of the park. I just don't see it that way. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I just don't think that it's going to be one of those type of games. I do think that it'll be a lot closer. Like this. I think this is the same scoreline I've got for the weekend, when we get there. But that's just how I see it, So, but listen, maybe Slot thinks, you know what, fuck it, we'll run it back again, change the personnel, as you said, better quality in certain areas, and then job will be done, But I also think that for Brighton as well, you add in the certain players potentially to come in. Yeah, it could be a little bit different.
Because looking at the players, obviously Igor, I think he was really good in the game, to be fair. I didn't see him as anyone that made mistakes, looked comfortable on the ball, looked really good in the game. Lamptey, I thought, was really good as well in the game. apart from when he went missing for just a moment and then obviously got punished. Dingra I thought was fine as well. Gruda I thought was okay, not too much. I think Ferguson was just missing, to be fair, in the game. I think he got to about 20, maybe 30 minutes in or something along those lines. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating. It was like he ain't even had a touch. He didn't even have a touch in the game. Like, he was trying to find space, but the way that we were marking him and stuff like that, and obviously in CISO. But then you're going to have the Matomas come back. I think Veltman will go maybe for Lamptey, but I don't know, because maybe looking at the way that Cody dealt with him, you're like, okay, we need someone that has a bit of speed to get back in. Veltman ain't the quickest, but he's obviously a better defender. But does he have the speed as a Lamptey to get back in and cover if needs be? I don't know. So I don't know how they might set up in that one. Dunk, obviously, I know you covered it as well. He might still be injured as well. So they're going to be missing his experience, him being the leader in the team and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. I don't know. What about you, Zabir? You're looking at this team. This is the team, obviously, they used against us. Any one of them you're really worried about how the game went?
No, Endz. Call me toxic positive guy. This team with this manager, Liverpool, I don't think any team can hurt us unless we allow them to. That's how I see every game going this season. The only way they'll hurt us is like funds a loose pass, or not really controlling the tempo of the game. The only way they hurt us is if we allow them. That's how I'm looking at the team. I've never looked at a Liverpool team this way before. So I don't think they can actually toe-to-toe hurt us unless we allow them to. They nick one off of us, close us down, sloppy pass, sloppy clearances. The only way I think this team, Brighton, can hurt us. Them trying to cut in and create, they're always going to try that. And that'll be the space we exploit and we counter. But I don't really fear them. That's just my honest opinion.
Because their last Premier League game, they set up in a 4-4-2, and this one they set up in a 4-2-3-1. Big up to Robert as well, man. Says we conceded a few goals coming through our midfield. Brighton will maybe try and exploit that fact. Big up to Cav as well. Afternoon, lads. I see the game panning out the same way. Good football moments and goals with Liverpool winning. I think so as well, man. But the goals that we conceded were so avoidable, man. So avoidable, because the game looked closer than what it should have, in my opinion. It should have been not even a 3-0, but 2-0 would have been even suffice, man. I think that them 2 goals that we conceded made the game look more closer than what it should have been. Obviously,
but even the goals through the middle, it's not the goals through the middle. Out of the 5 goals, I can only think of maybe one where the team actually created. The rest of them, bro, it's we allowed it to happen.
I can't even remember any of the goals through the middle, bro. I know,
but that's what I'm saying. So it's like, Chelsea's the only one that really created a goal through the middle. Everything else, bro, it's a ball through the middle, didn't get dealt with, they scored. A ball through the middle, didn't clear, they scored. A ball through the middle, keeper saved it, they scored. It's no team can actually exploit through the middle. So basically, we're not really giving anything away except those little moments or in the game. Anything other than that, bro, the shop is closed. Really tight all around, man. This team is really good.
I agree with that last bit you just said there. The team is good. I guess, I play devil's advocate. I think sometimes I don't look at it as plain, like I don't look at it in a sense of because we haven't conceded, that means that it's good. Because I don't feel like that won't tell you a full story, because the reality is that could be down to many other factors. I don't know, they just missed, or they should have scored but didn't, or the keepers made a brilliant save, or they put it wide, or whatever. Like, they're different factors. Not saying that they're excuses, but just anything could happen in that moment, right? What I will say, though, is the Liverpool, I don't want to say problem, because I don't think it's a problem, but it does seem the second we get overloaded in the midfield, Chelsea, Arsenal being the last 2 games that has happened, Liverpool don't know really how to deal with it. They're not really the midfield anyway. They don't really know how to deal, with that, so to speak. Yes, he might change it up a little bit, but you can see that creates a bit of a problem because of the way that we want to then, go and play. So if Brighton was smart, you just overload Liverpool's midfield. How you do that, I have no idea. Whatever their tactics are, I don't know. But that's how I would look at if I had to play Liverpool today. That's probably the easiest way, because once you do that, it does create a bit of problems. And you can see there are games I'm watching, they're getting from back to front. They're just bypassing, say, Gravenberch as the 6. And I'm like, bro, you didn't even have to do anything. You're just one ball, boom. Now they're in at our centre backs. Won't do anything, won't score, might not, bro. The move might even break down at that point. But the fact that they're able to get through, then I'm like, But again, I'm not saying Brighton are going to do that, because Brighton don't play like that. I'm just saying, if I had to look at it and think, how would I defeat Liverpool today? I think I'll be looking at those Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Arsenal games and saying, yeah, you know what? Liverpool have a problem when you overload their midfield. The problem, obviously, you have after that is, can you beat Van Dijk, Konate, Keller, Alisson? That's your next step. That's like M. Bison level that you got to then, deal with. But can you get through the stages first? Yeah, I don't think it's too difficult to do that against Liverpool. I don't think we've closed up shop in that kind of.
That's a great point. Do you know the difference though? Quickly, is I think Liverpool set up to stop that from happening. I think Arne Slot thought they were going to do that and trying to overload us in the midfield. So he did that, and that's why you saw Curtis Jones and Sobbo as the two 10s, and then you got Endo and Morton just in there. So we created a 4 in the midfield. So if you drop someone else in there, it would still be. And that's why when I said to you, when they showed the stats of Ferguson hadn't touched the ball for ages, is because they couldn't get through the middle of the park, because they weren't like someone just lone being standing up there or trying to chase down the centre backs as such. It was just literally 2 go, the next 2 go, the next 2 go. And then when we dropped back, it was just midfielders. All you saw in front of you was just midfielders. So they couldn't overload us. I think Arne thought that was going to be an issue, but then it turned out to be like it wasn't. So we planned for them to do it. They didn't end up doing it. So I don't know what they might do, the reverse psychology thing, and then run it this time round and go 4-4-2 with Ferguson and Welbeck up there. And I don't know. We just have to kind of wait and see.
Yeah. That's jokes though.
What was you going to say, Zabir? Big up to Akeem as well. Honesty in the building.
It's actually the same, not same thing, but the same context that you and G was speaking, because I think G was speaking more to, from what I saw, us looking like a flat 4-2-4 when we're defending. So once the ball passed the front 4 and end up, let's say, next to Gravenberch, and oftentimes behind Gravenberch, because there's not really a lot of closing down the channels. There's closing down the man, but there's still channels the man can play the ball forward. When that happens with some teams, if they have the right quality, like KDB or one of the better quality forward passes in the 10, they can pick out that ball through the middle and hurt us. Fortunately, to G's point with the great defense team, no team has ever really exploited it very well, other than Chelsea. Arsenal looked dangerous when they did it, but still nothing really much came from it. So to think Brighton was going to do that, they would have to need quality in there to receive that ball. You see how Gravenberch takes the ball, turn, and if there's space, he can find a pass or drive it forward and will look really dangerous. If the team have that ability, yeah, they can hurt us. And to your point, I think he did set up to kind of stop that, because it was beginning to look obvious that, we only got 2 standing in there and 4 guys up front pressing. And the minute you get the ball in between those 2 guys, you're actually just right at the back foot. So it looks like an avenue to get in, and I think he set up to stop it. I'm not sure if he reverts back to type on that setup or continue on with this 4-2-2-2 setup, which kind of stops that from happening. So it'll be interesting, because this is the first time we'll see them trying to run 2 different tactics on the same team, or run the same tactics on the same team. So I'm really excited for this one because of just that fact of he had to set up one way midweek, and for the same team, either run it again or switch it up.
So just to kind of show you guys, I filled the team in. I don't think you guys will strongly disagree, but I left 2 positions open, and I feel like these 2 positions are going to be the most vital for this game. And that's right back and that's left wing. I feel like the rest of the team picks itself. Obviously, Kelleher in goal, the two centre backs. Obviously, Kanate and Virgil. Tsimikas, I think, deserves the nod ahead for this week. See how it goes. He might not take the opportunity. He might go and have a stinker, and then Robbo comes back in and deals with business. McAllister, Gravenberch comes back in. McAllister obviously played some of the game, but not all of it. Gravenberch had the night off, but sitting there watching the phone while out with the missus. I hear it. Sobo obviously played in that, come off as well. Nunes played a bit, so did Salah. But the two position boys, who's the two do you guys put there? Because I saw, for me personally, if Bradley didn't play the whole 90 minutes, I would have put Bradley in there. I feel like he's more equipped to deal with what these men have to do, the Matomas, especially watching how he played. But
I would go Trent and Diaz for the simple fact that Bradley and some of the other players, they will always get game time in like the next round if they've proven themselves. So I'll just put Trent back in and let Bradley know, yeah, you get the cups. And, we'll rotate you as needed. So I feel like Trent will come right back in. And then if we have to make a sub with Trent, we'll just put Bradley and give him some more minutes there. I think we'll go Diaz because if Brighton are smart, they'll probably try to, if Gakpo's on that team sheet, we can't let men just get free shot at goal, basically. We can't give him any space. And they'll be more prepared for a Gakpo. When they see Diaz, it's like, does the same plan for Gakpo would work on Diaz? I'm not sure. So that's why I'll go Diaz. Just to throw them off, because we can always bring Gakpo back on. So that's why I'll go Trent.
What about you, G? What are you thinking?
Yeah. I'll go with I'll go with Trent and Diaz. Trent, I think, is, for me, I think the back line's a formality. I don't think you change that. He doesn't need to be honest with you. I don't think there's any real. Bradley doesn't deserve it any more than Trent, if that makes sense. We keep the back line as solid and the same as much as possible. Don't change it around. Not for Premier League anyway. And the left wing, I just prefer Diaz. I think Diaz would be a better option on that side. To be honest with you. Gakpo played, he scored the 2 goals. I didn't see
him coming off doesn't give you the indication, though, G. Him coming off earlier than Diaz, does that not give you the indication that goes, actually, I might start you still? Or you don't? Nah.
It might. Again, I don't know the context of why he came off.
I just scored 2, and then the manager's like, yeah, big man, come off.
Yeah, I felt like the game was done at that point as well. So no need to really burn him out. Potentially.
Could be that, or I don't know, maybe he saw something in terms of Gakpo on that side. Like I said, I don't know what the context is. Me personally, I'll just go with Diaz. I think he's the better player. He's the one that's been in the better form. Play your best players where you can play them. To be honest with you, just Gakpo done his job. He scored the 2 goals. Great. To Zabiri's point about the whole Bradley thing, I see the same thing for Gakpo. You'll get the minutes anyway. So it's not like you're not going to get minutes in games and stuff like that. Yeah. And Diaz proposes a bit more. It's like I said on the show. Yeah. Slot wants players. I think anyway. He wants his wingers to isolate. Well, when the wingers are isolated, he needs them to be good in 1v1 kind of battles. And I think Diaz does that better. So I feel like a game like this, where you're up against someone like I don't know who plays right back.
Might be Veltman or
Veltman. Yeah. Then even more so than, when you're up against like a Veltman type of player, it might not necessarily come down to pace and everything like that, because he's a good defender, defender first. So if he is, can you beat him? Can you be just that little bit smarter? Diaz has got that. So, I would just go Diaz. I'm good really with whatever, to be honest.
All right, fairs, man. All right, man. Let's get our score predictions and then we'll head out of the building, man. So I'll go first. What is it? 3-2 last game, 2 mistakes. There's goals in it for us, man. I saw the way they defended. There's goals in this. Being at Anfield, a home crowd. I'll go 4-1 Liverpool. I think they do get one. So 4-1 Liverpool. I think Diaz, Salah will get a couple, and then I'll give one to Szoboszlai.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah.
About freaking time.
Big up, 2-0 Nunes and Mo. What about you, G?
3-2 again. I think it'll be the same. I think we'll concede goals. Welbeck will cause problems in our team. Links up really well with Matoma. Saliba coming back into the midfield as well. I think the goals for us will be Salah. The whole front three. So whoever the front. So Salah, Nunes, and Diaz. I think the whole front three will score. For them, I think Danny Welbeck scores twice.
Fair enough. Honesty said 4-0 Liverpool. Diaz, Darwin, Salah, Graves. What about you, Zabiri, bro?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring ass whooping, almost taking problems out on Brighton type of settings. Minimum 4-0, but it can go as far as Liverpool want to put it. It's definitely going to be some defensive emphasis on not necessarily keeping that clean sheet, but stop giving it away. That'll be the focus. Like, boys, keep it tight. And then up top, finishes, man. So I'm really rooting for a 4-0, but I can see it being even a 6-0, honestly. When we talk about depth and quality, we have that way more so in Brighton. And Brighton playing midweek and weekend, they ain't really built for that. They're just not. And the show, we are built for that. That works. Definitely.
Fair enough. That's just 2-1. Salah, Nunes. Alexander says 4-1. No, so I think it'll be a 4-1 still. I definitely think they'll get a goal. But final thoughts, lads. For me, I just want to win, bro. To be fair with the scoreline, I don't need to be correct as long as Liverpool win. You know what I mean? And it doesn't. I don't want it to be like one of those frail kind of wins because then there's a lot to kind of speak about. It could just be a 1-0, just comfortable. They've tried. They're trying and stuff like that, but nothing really amount to it. Could be like a 2-0 or 2-1. Just get the 3 points, man. At this stage in the season, we just need to get 3 points as well, man. We do need the performances to be better for some players. But you know what I mean? As long as we're giving enough in the game and it doesn't feel like we're playing with 10, 9 or 8 men. Sometimes it can be like that where players don't turn up. It's like, bro, just do your job. The minimum we need you to do your job defensively and in the attack. But yeah, that's from me, bro. What about you, G?
Yeah, same. Scoreline, it matters, but doesn't matter. Like, we just get the win, of course, first. We can analyze the game when we get there. Just let's just see. Yeah, I think Brighton's always an interesting game, man, because the way that they play. So this would be good. A different type of test for Slot to see how he does in this type of game against these kind of opponents. So yeah, just another game where I want us to tick off the checklist, and then we can say, okay, so we faced that type of team, that type of team, that type of team, that type of team. And then finally, we've now got the full data to be like, all right, this is how he is. And then, we can move, man. We can move.
So basically what you're saying, we had the mock test, now we need a real exam. What about you, Zabiri, bro? Pass the mock test, pass the real exam.
Well, for me, like I said, it's the first team he's played twice this season. And I feel like that is more of a highlight of who he is as a manager and how he approaches the games. So I don't think cup competition matters so much because we're through to the quarterfinals because Brighton was there or thereabouts. Playing them again, it's like, okay, what tricks do you have of this? What tactics do you have of this? I think the cup was the first time he shifted formation. It's interesting to see what he does with it. I'm also interested in this post-match press conference from him as well, just to see if anything new pops up. But overall, on the gameplay, I definitely think this team is equipped to really control the opponent and what they have to offer. He's doing something right. Hopefully, he can continue, man. That's all I can say.
No, fair enough, man. Before we head out, because obviously Zabiri ain't gonna tell the people them that he's back now, blood, doing videos and that. Did a video when yesterday, cold video still. Let me go and make sure I get that link and throw that in the chat because you guys need to go and listen to it.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I'm a very humble soul. Gee, I think you'll like it. I think most people will enjoy it. If you don't like it, I'm really interested to know why you don't like it. Not even to debate back and forth, but I genuinely know why you wouldn't like this type of content. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna be doing some short dive on certain topics. I'll give you a preview of the next one. It's gonna be about the managers, just football managers in general. The one I did last night was about players. Definitely find some time to drop those short videos in there. And yeah, you should be expecting at least 2 to 4 videos weekly now. Zabir Mafadi on YouTube. If you have any issues finding it, let me know and I'll fix that up.
I've already thrown the link in there. So they're just people, just click on it and subscribe, man. Obviously, G had his preview earlier, him and JJ. Very good conversation. So if you obviously haven't got nothing to do, make sure you guys go and watch that as well. Even if you do, bro, just put your headphones in and listen to it and chill, bro. Because I'm sure there's some great stuff that you guys are going to enjoy in there, man. Us says, can we going to talk about how Alex punched you both up on the calling? Who's Alex?
Right, what happened, bro?
Who's Alex, bro? I don't know who Alex is.
I don't know.
Who's Alex?
Wait, was that the guy with the agenda that came in on the call that said Liverpool have been the team to be feared for the past 30 years? Was that Alex?
I don't even remember an Alex. You mean Max? Someone commented after the show said, "Yo, what's wrong with this Mad Max?"
Oh right, no, but you know what I find interesting, and it's funny. It's actually funny. I can laugh about it. When fans come in on like a call in, or it's probably on X and other socials as well, and they say something that's not factually correct, and they die on that hill, and you as a logical person is trying to just correct them and bring them back to logic, and they're just so out there. People actually just enjoy them being out there. Man said Liverpool has been a team to be feared for the past 30 years. And I don't think that's accurate. I don't think a lot of teams feared us before Klopp.
No,
hey, Mad Max said that. Mad Max
is on it. No, man, Elise, big up, honestly. Elise is out here just screwing at the fans. Nah, they kept booing him, bro. What do you expect man to do? Just keep getting booed? Nah, lucky don't run up there and start punching, man. I'm like, no. But yeah, Max came with the agendas, bro. So for Liverpool's sake, let's just win this one, bro. Because I want to know what else Max will come up with for that one. Max said, bro, we need to have more shots. Who cares if they go in or not? Just shoot, bro. That's what we did on the clock, bro. I mean, that's what we still shooting.
So what are you saying, Max? What? Liverpool been feared for the last 30 years? Yeah.
Maybe in Europe, bro, to an extent, in the Anfield effect. I can jump on that bus. No, I can jump on that bus. The
funniest one for me is when he did the typical wasteman prediction and goal. They had more shots. What if the one that hit the post went in? Then the game is 3-3. And it's like, yeah, what if Sabazalai one went in? Then it's 4-3. Like, we can't keep doing that. Like, it's so schoolboy. But anyway, if he roughed us up off that day, fair play to him, man.
Like I said, Max will be happy if we 3-0 lost, but 26 shots. At least we was in the game, Cav. At least we was in the game, I guess.
At least we was in the game. He's in 3-0. That's mad.
But listen, guys, we're back tomorrow, man. Call in tomorrow. I'm not doing a watch along. I wanted to, but can't do it. Can't do it, or else I would. Call in. So it'll be an interesting one. Fingers crossed, Liverpool, you know what I mean? Pass the real exam. We already passed the mock exam. Time to go and show these man up now, man. I swear they didn't even lost at home, you know. I felt like that was one of the stats. They've not lost at home this season, Brighton.
I don't even know that. That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, that definitely would.
Well, yeah, man.
We said what? You got something more important than...
Nah, yeah. I was about to lie and say, nah, I do. Nah, I do. Actually, do you know what? Let me do this quickly before I head out.
See now.
Yeah, bro.
Guys, obviously ends is, you know what I'm saying, is what something more important than
No,
don't
don't
you
do
guys.
that. Don't do that. Man. Don't do that, bro. That's not what I said. I just.
No,
No,
you just said it. You just said, yeah, you do. Which is
Yeah.
fine, by the way. If you got something more important, that's life happens sometimes. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah, I don't like how you're making it sound though. Feel like you.
I'm not making it sound anything. I'm just repeating what you said. You've got more important things to do than worry about everybody else. And you know what I'm saying, it's just fine.
Say less, man. All right, then, peeps, man. Go and enjoy the rest of your day, man. I need to go and chill, relax now, eat some food. It's lunchtime now, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Peace.